Such a sick gaming PC build coming up for you guys. And I mean it. This is going to be a super fast computer. And it's not going to be mine. There is my computer. I'm still very happy with it. But this is going to be a computer for a friend of mine. And I want to start building this system right away. But I can't because it's missing the motherboard. It's supposed to come today, and I hope it still comes because it's already kind of late. But anyway, we got here a Core i7-9700K, a freaking 8-core monster CPU. Very expensive thing and doesn't even have a CPU cooler. Come on. Then we got only 16 gigabytes of RAM. Oh gosh, very bad. Actually, it sounds weird, but this is a little low for the rest of the system because I mean it's not that he really needs more, but he's got a freaking RTX 2070 and a 650 watt power supply and a 9700K and this M2 SSD. I'm really thinking of getting something like this for myself because they're supposed to be super fast, and my internal 250 gig is kind of getting small. I'm not sure if my motherboard has an M2 input though, so I might have to get a PCI card. But nevertheless, I mean, this is a sick system. We get here this Noctua cooler, which is kind of overkill packaged, but yeah, it's a pretty good cooler. And a Fractal design case. I love these cases, they're just so subtle and normal and great. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward working on these pieces of hardware. I mean, check out this thing, 2070 graphics card. It's like, who needs that much power? Who needs that? But he wanted it, so he gets it. And I deliberately laid off of some gaming branded stuff. Maybe you could call this gaming, but yeah, it's a graphics card for gaming, so that's fine. But I didn't opt for a gaming motherboard or a gaming power supply, gaming whatever. They slapped gaming onto everything, but it's basically just a normal piece of hardware which has gaming on it, and that makes it 20% more expensive. So I don't know what they'll come up with, like a gaming SSD or gaming PCI card. I don't know. So yeah, non-gaming bullshit, just normal parts, and they should do easily the job. So I will now stop rambling. I will mow the lawn until the postman arrives with the motherboard, hopefully. A Fractal case. It's a full-size tower, and I think that's a good thing, especially if you have a graphics card and stuff that can produce a lot of heat, which the 2070 will definitely do. I know a friend of mine who has a mid-sized tower, and he's got enormous cooling problems sometimes when he plays hardcore. So this is gonna be way better because of airflow and stuff. So it looks like a normal Fractal design. It's nice and subtle. I like this. I always recommend this to people because it's nice quality, and also it's not screaming like, look at me, gaming PC LED, whoa. Here we have the other side with the hard drive caddies, and this screw was so freaking over tightened. But yeah, as you can see, here goes the hard disk. They also have these nice rubber mounts where you can put the hard disk on, and so it doesn't vibrate and make a lot of noise. And yeah, then you apparently put it in like this and then screw it to the case. This here power supply is a Corsair 650 watt, quite beefy power supply. I think it is a good idea to go with a high watt power supply rather than one that just gets by, because this one is not gonna be stressed at all with this high-end hardware. But like a 400 watt or so is gonna be pushed to its limits, especially with a 2070. Maybe running at max. So it's costing not even that much more. So always go for a more high watt power supply. Hard drive has been connected, everything good. Even the cable management ties already used. I'll probably have to do that all over again once everything arrives correctly. Wonders, they do happen. I finally have a motherboard for the PC. I was so happy. Like, my postman was like, man, that must be a real cool package, because I was like saying, yeah, finally it's here, and I'm like, no, it's a motherboard. He's like, okay, what is that? No, never mind. But I was just so happy that I finally have a motherboard and that my friend can finally have his PC. After a week of delay, all thanks to DHL. So as you see, I ordered a Asus, not a Gigabyte, because the only Gigabyte, the Gigabyte I wanted to order again would have come from the same seller, and so I didn't want to take that risk again. So I went with an Asus, which was a little more expensive, but it's really not a problem. So here we have it. The fanciest motherboard I have ever seen in my life, personally, because it's having all these new, well, you might say, well, it's not that new, but for me, new technologies that I've never seen or had, because my PC is now from 2015, which is a couple of years old. So mine doesn't have M2 and PCI 3.0 all through and stuff, and of course not the new socket, the LGA 1151H4, the one you need for guys like these, the latest core processors and stuff. So unfortunately, it just sucks so much. This video is gonna suck a lot, I know, but I don't have that much time, so I can't really prioritize the filming. I need to get this thing done. As I said, I'm in a hurry. I thought this was done a week ago, and so yeah, I'm a little in a hurry, but I still have to do it, of course. Cool. I will now go on and take a look at some other accessories of it. The M2 it is, because I just don't see how that's gonna work. I mean, how? I've never installed an M2 NVMe, so yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. Now, I was about to watch a YouTube tutorial on it, but I got it figured out by myself. It's really damn easy. You have all of these mounting points, and like, I of course put it in the first socket here, and this is kind of the longest, so you need the last screw, and you screw the standoff in, and you just put it on and screw it down. That's really all it takes. So I reckon this is what the future will look like. That the regular old drives will one day probably be all replaced in the mainstream consumer market with these, because they're very fast and they're just so tiny. Look at that. This is 500 gigs of storage right there. It's crazy. And he could like get another one, then he would have a terabyte. And all in this very fast NVMe M2 config. So pretty awesome. Now next, we'll probably get to the always the most exciting part about building a computer, and that is the processor, especially when you have a powerhouse like this, a 9700K, it's always very, very cool for someone like me to build this, since I don't get to see it that often. I think I've never unboxed an i7 before. Unboxed a Xeon, a Pentium, a Ryzen, a i3, a i5, but never an i7. If you would count like the i7 from the iMac, maybe, but that wasn't new. So yeah, cool stuff. Also, I've never seen such a new processor before, and I never learn how this comes out. Like, I just don't. I don't know. Why can't they just be normal? I don't know. This could be easy, but it's not. Can you tell that I don't do it often? I don't know. If this would be my package, I would just rip it open, you know, but it's not mine, so I take a little more care. Ah, okay. Did they always have it like this? Like this latch thing? I don't know. Alright. Check out this beauty. Core i7 9700K, 8 cores. What a beast. This is 8 cores in one CPU. You know, we were building this Mac Pro 8-core system years ago, and we would like throw in 2 processors. Crazy stuff, yeah. No, it's here. All right, then we are good. So there is the i7 sitting in there, and now let's close it up so it doesn't escape somehow. And here we go. i7 is in, and now we'll have to do the cooler next, and have to research a bit how that's gonna mount, because Noctua is all crazy with their mounting process. So I'll be back. I'll be back. Knock knock. Who's there? Noctua. Oh gosh. I want you to gaze at this cooler, because it's just so epic. This is what a €50 cooler looks like, guys. Crazy stuff. All these heat pipes, looks like a hot rod under there. Really, really cool. David has got the more excessive version with 2 fans. Like, this could be turned into 2 fans. You just get another fan and put it on there, but my friend is, I think, fine with this. A random fact, this is the first ever motherboard I've had where you don't need a hydraulic press to get the RAM locked in place. This was pretty easy. A cool fact, a Fractal design, they in fact make it very easy for you to determine where to screw in the standoffs. Why in the hell would you put an ITX motherboard in here? It's just so much wasted space. But anyway, you could. And so you have this letter, and everywhere where it says A, you have to screw in for ATX, where I would need it, or M, or you know. So yeah, pretty cool idea. Everybody should do this. It happens almost every freaking time. Now, how did this happen? Well, these little bitches. So now I have to actually do something against that, because I don't want my blood shorting out something on the circuit boards. So yeah, great stuff. Motherboard is in, all screwed in, and we now have to do wiring, and I will not record any of this because it's boring. And so yeah, it's coming together nicely. I hope the fan is doing the way I want it, this direction, but I'm sure it does. If not, I have to flip it around. It's not even that bad, because you can just take it off. So yeah, obviously we want the air to go out, not in. So guys, it's coming together nicely. It really is. I'm enjoying building this system. Yep, it's almost done, guys. I have to hurry up a bit, but everything's wired. All that needs to go in now is this beauty. So we'll do that, and then we'll boot it up and see if it actually works. Next, and that should be the fastest Windows installation I've ever seen in my life, because such a fast system, so much good hardware, NVMe SSD, this should just be. The only bottleneck is the USB drive, because it's a USB 2.0 drive, so that is the only thing that is bottlenecking this. And this is also working. Everything's working, LEDs are working. The only thing I need to test is, of course, this. And I'm in the meantime, while this installs, I have to hurry. It's taking not very long. I have to get some drivers for the motherboard, because I originally downloaded them for the gigabyte, but now I have the Asus, so yeah, we'll have to do that. And until then, I'm watching it. The fan is turning in the right direction. Air is coming out here, and everything seems to be running okay. So after this is done, I'll shut it down, do some cable wiring management thing, and put it panels on, and then it's good to go. Well, still need to install some software, but from the hardware side, almost there. Literally 15 minutes and we are already almost booting into the desktop of the system. Really fancy stuff going on. This LED like makes me mad. But thankfully they, it's being covered up anyway, so never mind. But yeah, I'm glad the motherboard doesn't, waste your money with any stupid LED stuff, because who needs that really? It's like the only little LED strip thing it has is this, and yeah, fine, right, but who needs that really? It's just wasting money in my opinion. They could have just not done these LEDs and made it $1 cheaper, so yeah, but apparently that's what's cool. So I think it downloads some updates, that's why it's taking so long, or configuring or whatever. i7 9700K. Yes, that's a system. So let's just wait for the driver to finish and then we'll see. Alright mates, some time later I had to reinstall Windows. Yeah, great, right? Well, it turns out I had a license for Windows 10 Home and I installed Windows 10 Pro. So there's no way, you need to reinstall the whole goddamn OS. This is a thing I just hate about Windows, their activation shit. Why? I mean, it got better. I know it got better in the last years, but still, it is such a pain in the ass. If you fuck something up or if something goes wrong, you're totally out of luck usually. Windows and their activation is just a horrible thing. Anyway, now it's done. I'm waiting for the driver to download. Windows just in the background installed it, I saw, but I'm using the official NVIDIA driver just to be 100% sure to get everything running and just up to date. And yeah, then I'm doing some updates and testing the whole thing out if everything works, but It's looking very promising. Then I'll install Steam and install some programs. Then I'm done. Then I can deliver this beautiful machine. Let's give you a little shot around. It's very silent. Noctua cooler is a good option for those who also want quiet machines that cool efficiently. So yeah, very basic ports on this machine, just not too crazy ports. They have like no USB-C or stuff, except here on the graphics card. But who needs that? Like, this is a normal guy who he just wants to game. That's all he needs. So this is it, guys. Maybe I'll just show you a little clip of a Steam game running or something, and maybe some benchmarks, but I fear I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, this is it. Looking good. See you later. Now that's a very radical change, I know, but I'm sorry I didn't film further. Now you see me cooking these noodles here. You shouldn't actually eat these noodles. These are supposed to be very unhealthy, so don't eat them. But I'm gonna do it because I'm way too lazy to do something else at this time, you know. Nevertheless, I'm sorry this video kind of sucked, I know. And I know that I haven't really been putting out that much YouTube videos in the last time anyway, but I was just running out of time. I had to get this PC out of the house the same day, and it was already so late because DHL delayed the stupid motherboard so long. So yeah, my friend was finally getting his PC. He was really happy. And maybe I'll put some benchmark results like up here, so you can kind of get the idea. But I definitely can guarantee you it was very fast, and it was getting a lot of frames. As you saw, it had everything working. Just put the side panels back on and everything was good. I didn't even have to do any cable management because there weren't so many cables. So yeah, I know this video kind of sucked, and I hope I'll make some better videos in the future. But until then, thanks for watching and see you later.